Claudia, one big change, and I think that's what everybody's talking about. For this camp, you went abroad, you trained in the U.S. Tell me a little bit more about what motivated that change.
So I'm always looking for evolution. You know, I'm a fighter dad. I'm always trying to get better, and I feel like I had to go there, you know, to change a few things in my camp. Everybody's asking why I choose Albuquerque. You know, I think because of the elevation, it's going to be a big change in my cardio, you know, and the way I feel in the fight. And also, I think they have things to add to my game. You know, I don't want to change the whole thing, but I want to learn new things and add new things to my game. And I think Greg Jackson and Chris Luttrell are perfect to that kind of things.
But where are you? So you're training with both of them. What gym are you sort of associated with? Do you have like one team there?
Well, I went there to learn, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not associated to none of them, you know. I'm training with them, I'm learning with them. I don't know what's going to happen, you know. Jair, it's going to America as well, you know, and I started training with him since I was a little girl. So I really enjoy training with them. You know, Chris Luttrell, it's one of the best coaches I ever met in my life, and I want to be between them. You know, I want to have them in my team and have my own team instead of defending, you know, another team.
And you mentioned that Jair, we talked about that before, and you said that you were trying to get him there, but that wasn't done yet. So now he's going there to train you, and you have the perfect camp, really, pretty much.
Exactly. Jair is moving to America, you know, and I think it's the best thing he's doing for his life and his athletes. You know, it's so hard to do a fight camp in Brazil. You spend a lot of money, you know, it's so hard, it's so stressing, you know, and in America you can focus, you can be concentrating only in what you have to do in your fight coming up. So that's the way I felt in these last 8 weeks. I feel great. I had a great experience there, and I am sure Jair, you know, with Hanan, Jussier, all his fighters that he's going to bring it to U.S., he's going to be very successful in his life and his career, because it's just a better way to do a fight camp.
You mentioned, so you're probably staying there, right? At least for a while, for your future camps, we can expect you to do them there.
Yeah, it's so hard because I love Brazil so much. If you ask me where you want to live, I want to live in Rio, you know, I want to live in Brazil. But then I have to work, and the best way to do this right now, it's there, you know, and I'll be coming to Brazil when I don't have a fight. When they book my fight, I'm gonna go to U.S., you know. So it's so hard. I don't know what's gonna happen in the future, if I'm gonna move to America, if I'm gonna be in Brazil. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I feel like I can't leave Brazil 100% yet, you know, because it's emotional.
Yeah, it's in your head, literally.
It's in my head, exactly.
And a good sign of a good camp is the weight. And you have like what, 4.5 pounds to go. So how was that process this time? Just, was it the easiest weight cut you've ever had?
Yes, that was the easiest weight cut I ever had in my life. I started cutting weight way before, you know, losing the fat, you know, and I didn't want to lose all water, you know, go in the hot bath and just feel terrible. So I am with a really good doctor here in Brazil, and he's working with me during the whole camp, the 8 weeks, and I feel great. I have 4.5 pounds to go, and there's 2 days for the weigh-ins. I feel great. I don't feel bad. I'm not hungry. I'm not thirsty, you know, and I'm very excited to see how I'm going to fight Saturday night.
So talking about Saturday night, you're fighting Cortney Casey. You did mention that she wasn't your first choice, or your second or third. That you at first was reluctant to take that fight, but you ended up taking it. Who was your first choice?
Carla. I wanted to fight Carla Esparza. We were supposed to fight before 2 times, and the fight didn't happen. It wasn't my fault. 10 days before the fight, the first time I broke my nose, and the second time I just got sick in the weigh-ins day and we couldn't fight. I feel like we have to do this fight for us and for the fans. You know, I am sure people want to see that fight. So I wanted to fight her, you know, but she didn't accept it. I don't know why, you know. And then I mentioned it to Tisha, and Tisha said no, she didn't want to fight in Brazil or something like that. So we talked about a few other names, you know, but then they had fights coming up, and the only way to do it was fighting Cortney Casey. You know, she's not a high-ranked fighter, but she's a great fighter, you know, and I had to take that fight.
Can you break it down a little bit, just like stylistically, the matchup? Do you like it? How do you see that fight really going?
Cortney is a big girl for the weight division. You know, she's tall, she's heavy, and she uses that to bully her opponents, you know, and she's very strong. She has good jiu-jitsu, fast hands, you know, but nothing fantastic. She's good in every little thing, but not fantastic in nothing, you know. So I think she's gonna try to use her weight, her range, and her size to make me tired, or, you know, to make me fight stepping back the whole time. But I'm faster, stronger. Even though I'm lighter now, I feel that I'm stronger, healthier, and I'm ready to go. So you guys will see Claudia walking forward the whole time.
Awesome. And you're in a weird position where you fought the champion twice. That one loss that was sort of controversial, to say the least. We've talked about this. And then you fought her again, and then you lost, and she just defended her belt. So you're kind of this, it's a bad position to be in, just because it's difficult to get a trilogy fight, but at the same time, it's not that big of a division either. So you might just always be that one win away from that fight again. How do you see your future? Do you even worry about that?
I'm not even thinking about that. You know, I think the best thing to me would be seeing someone beating Joanna, and then I can go back to the real #1 contender position. Yeah. But I'm not thinking about that, you know. For sure I want to fight for the belt. For sure I want to be the champion, you know. That's why we're fighting. That's why we are there. I'm not there to be only one more fighter. I'm there to be the top of the division, and I want to be the champion. But Joanna is there. I fought her twice. The first fight, everybody knows. I don't even need to talk about that. But yeah, I lost the first fight, and I think the best thing to me now would be seeing someone beating her and fight that person. But I'm thinking about my next opponent, you know, and after that fight, I want to fight Carla, like I said, you know, and I'm concentrating on these things now.
You talked about the great camp that you had, and how you feel better, lighter, and emotionally, how is the difference? Because you were fighting with Joanna, and there was a lot of promotion and a lot of media and a lot of cameras and a lot of attention. It seemed like a very tense situation. And now you're fighting a girl who is not talking about you, who you don't have to keep responding to in the media and stuff like that. How is that difference? Just, are you coming in lighter in that sense too?
Yeah, it's much easier, you know. I know that today you have to talk, you know, you have to promote your fight, you know, but I grew up in the BJJ philosophy, you know. I learned to respect my opponent, you know, they trainers and everybody. So I'm not that kind of person. It's just not inside me, you know. Even now that I know I have to talk shit to make money, I'm not gonna do it because it's not me, you know. So I feel better that way, you know. I could sleep well every night in my fight camp and not worried about what she was talking about me, you know. And Joanna really made me angry a lot of times during the camp, you know, during the Ultimate Fighter. So now I feel much better on that too.